Good morning, everybody, from the Scuttlebutt. It is a lovely, gorgeous, sunny, luscious, sunny morning here on the east coast of the UK. Despite just across the North Sea from me, there is an environment disaster happening at the moment in the shape of the Nord Stream gas sabotage. Already, many people are already saying, look, this isn't natural. It's not a natural gas leak from a pipeline. It is sabotage. Even Germany are stating that, but then Germany are reliant on Russian gas. If they don't have Russian gas, then they're going to just continue to burn fossil fuels in the shape of coal to generate electricity. But the real worrying thing here is the scum media, yet again, just looking down here. There's the headline. Look, Russia sabotages the Nord Stream. You can't make it up, people, honestly. You just cannot make this up. Why would Russia sabotage its main income? Anyone? Anyone? Can anyone answer that? Why would Russia sabotage their main income? If they wanted to make a point of things, all they have to do is turn it off. Simple as that. If Russia needs to make a point to the West this winter, all they need to do is turn the gas supply off. They don't need to blow a bloody great hole into the pipeline and then say, oh, it was the Americans. What is the mileage in that? There's no mileage in that at all. But what is a real catastrophe here is if that gas, and this is just one leak, by the way, I believe there's three, and we're looking here on the screen. This one's just off of Denmark. From what I've just read, and I'll just go to here, where is it? Down here somewhere. So natural gas isn't that bad for the ozone, according to what I've just kind of looked at. The problem is if it ignites, if any one of those three gas leaks ignite, it will belch out more poison into the atmosphere than your, mine, and the whole street where you live in, their cars would produce in a lifetime. If that ignites, the damage to the environment of that, all sorts, sulfuric acid, carbon monoxide, horrible stuff going up into the atmosphere. By the hour, the calculations are literally, by the hour, they would put more poison up than probably 1,000 cars would do in a lifetime. So think of that. So whoever has created this sabotage, in effect, is probably one of the same governments, Joe Biden, who are tooting green energies at the moment. Save the planet. Greta Thunberg has spoken. We must save the planet. Well, you're not saving the planet by doing this, are you? Anyway, enough from me, because there's somebody a lot more qualified than me can tell you what is going on. Tucker Carlson. Take a look at this, people.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight, you hate to start a Tuesday evening on a grim note, but one of the environmental catastrophes, one of the great environmental catastrophes of our time, is unfolding tonight off the coast of Denmark. The Nord Stream pipelines, which are enormous Russian-owned conduits that carry natural gas from Russia to Western Europe, have been breached. As we speak, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 are pouring millions of cubic meters of natural gas into the Baltic Sea. Pictures from the air, which you can now see on your screen, show a toxic bubble field more than half a mile wide. You can only guess at how many marine mammals are being killed right now, countless. But the lasting damage may be to the atmosphere. Natural gas is comprised of up to 90% methane. Methane, as Joe Biden has often told you, is the key driver of global warming, which is, of course, an
Oops, it seems I was wrong there. It's got methane in it. There you go. So my fears are justified. Whoever has created this sabotage is probably the same people who are telling you to buy electric cars and go save the planet. Save the planet, my ass. What's been saved here is people like Joe Biden's piggy bank accounts in the Ukraine. That's what this is all about. Let's not forget that Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. We know that there have been money laundering for years. We know that. We won't go on about the drugs and the child prostitution rings, because that's another thing that we need to tackle on a later date, or now, whenever you want. But right now, an environmental catastrophe is happening, and it's all in the name of the proxy war in Russia. Whoever's done this, was it Joe Biden? I think probably it was the Americans, to be honest with you. But let's get back to Tucker Carlson and have a listen.
Existential threat to humanity and the planet. So if you're worried about climate change, what just happened to the Nord Stream pipelines is as close to the apocalypse as we have ever come. So the question is, how did this happen? And it turns out it was not an accident. At the very same time that leaks in these pipelines were detected, Swedish officials recorded 2 powerful undersea explosions, each one of which was equivalent to hundreds of pounds of TNT. Nothing in nature can account for that. Almost immediately, the pipelines began leaking in 3 separate places. So there's only one explanation for what happened. This was an act of industrial terrorism. That was very obvious to the Prime Minister of Poland, and he wasted no time in saying so. Watch.
Today, we are also dealing with an act of sabotage. We do not know the details of what happened yet, but we can clearly see that it is an act of sabotage, an act that probably marks the next stage in the escalation of the situation we are dealing with in Ukraine.
We can clearly see, he said, this was an act of sabotage, an act of terrorism. Well, yes, we can see that. So the question is, who did it? And of course, the prime suspect is obvious. It would be the same man who caused domestic inflation here in the U.S. and stole the 2016 election from Hillary Clinton. That'd be Vladimir V. Putin. The Washington Post got right to it. Putin, they declared, is now weaponizing the Nord Stream pipelines. According to the Canadian ambassador to the UN, Vladimir Putin has decided to use, quote, pollution as an act of war. Progressive Twitter strongly endorsed this conclusion. Putin did it. And that makes sense until you thought about it for just a moment. Vladimir Putin may be evil. They tell us that he is evil. But is he stupid? Probably isn't stupid. And yet, and here's the strange part, if you are Vladimir Putin, you would have to be a suicidal moron to blow up your own energy pipeline.
Well, there you go, people. Do you know what I mean? Why would Putin blow up his own pipeline? It's obviously the work of the Biden. Well, that's my opinion. It's the Biden administration that have orchestrated this. And why? Why are we being suckered into this proxy war? There's not a real war going on. The Ukraine hasn't been invaded like we're being told. Certain key areas of the Ukraine have been taken over by the Russians. Those areas have been in a civil war in Ukraine between the Ukrainian-speaking people and the Russian-speaking people. They're all Ukrainians. They're just having a civil war, and it's been going on for 14 years. Get your heads round it, people. Russia have not invaded the Ukraine. They have taken over key areas what are Russian-speaking Ukrainians, okay? That is it. And they say that they've done it because of safety. Well, if you actually pulled your thumb out your arse and checked, you would see that the Azov Brigade have been murdering Russian-speaking citizens in the Ukraine for 14 years. Make no mistakes about this. Make no mistakes about this. Okay, do your own research. The link to this video with Tucker Carlson's in the description below. Peace out, everybody. Keep your eyes open.